Okay, so this is X-Plane Development Stage 1. I have been working on the concept of a hot rod Cessna. So let me go ahead and bring this up. Now this is in the Lisbon area. So the idea behind this was that we would go ahead and take a 1974 Cessna M, which if you were looking for a non-running model, you could probably find for free at most airports in the world. Um, so I modeled the body off of the 1974 M, or the 172 from 1974. I still have a bit of a bump here that I need to fix. Um, and if you look at the engines on these things, I for a hot rod concept, you typically swap in the largest engine that you can get. And I thought with the engine bay and the engine size that the Continental was, I thought we could squeeze in a 426 Hemi. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and swapped this into with a 426 Hemi. I have beefed up the tires to take the extra weight, and I've actually increased the front landing strut position because it's going to be handling a lot more weight. I've also increased the length so that the plane will actually now have a Carolina slant to it, which is kind of neat. And for the propeller, I thought a 5-blade propeller would be kind of neat, and if we take advantage of the Carolina slant to give it a little bit of extra length, I thought that would be kind of neat. But I let X-Plane's engine design the propeller. Now, it's supposed to be designed to run at 5,500 RPM because that's where a 426 Hemi will give you 425 horsepower. So that's where this is at. Now, I did just add the instruments to this a couple minutes ago. So this thing should be in running condition, and we should be able to fly it at this point in time. Figure out why it won't start. There we go. Make sure the brakes are turned off. We are going to go ahead and start rolling. Bring it up to power. Now, as you can imagine, this plane does fly quite a bit differently than your typical Cessna because you have all that extra weight in the front, but you find that you can take off with relatively ease. So here we are over Lisbon, and let's see. I really do need to figure out how to fix that. It's bugging me. I think I need to add in some more sections and lower it. Oh, I've got one section in there. I need to lower it. So, I don't know how fast we are actually going now. So, but maybe I'll do a speed test in a couple of minutes. But in the meantime, so this thing just wants to fly. It just wants to rip out of your hands. You've got to push it way down to try and maintain altitude. I think I just installed the trim wheel recently, so hopefully I make this plane a little bit easier to fly. But the other problem is it has almost no weight allowance left in it. I did have to reinforce the thing so that it would take larger weights. It is also super heavy. You could feel it when you're flying it, the difference between it and a regular Cessna. And so when it's at full weight, it no longer gets down. Like getting it down on the ground, which I'm going to demonstrate here, is kind of an issue. Now I know I'm coming in really high, but this thing just wants to float forever. You've got to keep pushing it down to get it down, and then once it gets down close, then you can start to. Also, because it can fly at almost 0 RPM, it feels like. This my flaps fully extended. Now, to counteract the weight in the front, what I had to do is move the gas cans to the back. So, if you see when you go into flight and you do the edit weights and balances, as you remove the fuel, your center of gravity is going to go way, way, way to the front. Also, the payload is you, the pilot, but you can see how it's so easy to send this plane overweight at this point in time because of the extra weight from that engine, plus I had to add in some structural reinforcements so that the plane could fly at a faster speed, so I added in some weight for that. And yeah, it's just flies a lot different, but it's do another video maybe when I can get this thing up to speed and figure out maybe if there's a better propeller configuration to get it at higher speeds, but that's where I'm at now.